Okay, guys, Premier League predictions. We're finally getting around to it. A day before the season officially starts, and we are finally getting around to it. We're going to kick straight in, though. We've got some notes in front of us, but we're going to kick straight into what my general opinion is going to be. And firstly, I'm fairly confident in this. I'm going to say Southampton are going down. I don't think they have the depth in squad. They've sold Danny Ings. James Ward-Prowse could still leave. Lemina's left, even though he's gone out on loan the last few seasons. I feel he could have still been something in that midfield. And they brought in, no offence, Adam Armstrong's great for Blackburn last season, but they seem to like signing championship sort of strikers. They did it with Che Adams, and he's not really kicked into it. I don't see where the goals are going to come from. Vestergaard seems to be leaving to Leicester, and as I said, Ward-Prowse might even go Tottenham at this point, which, if that happens, what's left of that team? What squad do you have? They bring in Eric Dyer, which, spoiler alert, I hate Eric Dyer. He's useless. He's a donkey. So that is predominantly why I'm putting Southampton in last. 19th place, we're going to have Watford. Watford, they look similar to the team that went down a couple years ago, and I don't see much change. They've brought in Josh King, who, if he finds his Bournemouth form, is great, but he's just sat on the bench for the last 6 months to a year over at Everton. And they brought in, who else is in? Let me just check the notes. And they brought in Danny Rose, who's going to bring some experience to the team, but I don't think that's going to be enough to keep them up. They got some good players. They got likes of Will Hughes. They still got Ismaila Sarr, but I don't think those two, among a couple others, are going to be enough. Sorry to the Cycling GK, but I do see, sadly, Watford going back down in 19th. Alright, 18th place. 18th place, I'm going to put, surprisingly, I'm going to put Brighton. Unless they start performing to the XG that they have with under Graham Potter, I can see it being a tough season. With no real recognised goal scorer coming in, they brought in a new goalkeeper from Ajax, and they brought in Mwepu from Salzburg, which, I mean, their centre midfield was okay. They've already got Basuma there, so unless they were preparing for Basuma to leave, I'm not convinced that that's going to improve the team enough. They've just lost Ben White. I don't know. I can't see. They struggled the last two seasons. They play great football, but I do worry for them. I'm sorry, Chris Hamill. Alright, 17th. I'm going to put Brentford, one of the two remaining newly promoted sides, which I'm saying is staying up. Brentford are famously really good with recruitment, so, I mean, Onyeka and Ajar are going to hopefully do really well for them, but I see him surviving barely. Huge effort from Ivan Toney expected. I can see him having a season similar to Charlie Austin did when he didn't keep QPR up that season in, 14-15, I'm going to say? 14-15, I think Charlie Austin did really well. I can see him having a similar season, but I'm actually keeping the team up as a result. Obviously, I think I'd need a lot more research into Brentford. But I know they got Sergi Canos and the like still, who are going to be creating, but I think Ivan Toney's going to be crucial. So, I'm going to be brave with this one. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to say Norwich are not only going to stay up, they're going to stay up in 16th. Now, I know they've lost Emi Buendia, but they've replaced Emi Buendia with 35 mil with a signing of Rashika. Let me just check this. Solis. They got Josh Sargent coming in from Werder Bremen, young American prospect. We'll see how he does, but we've also got the likes of Lees Malou and Billy Gilmore possibly playing alongside each other in midfield, which that midfield could actually be a surprise package. Although I will admit it's brave, I'm predicting 16th. This could easily be said for 19th or 18th, but I'm gonna stick my neck out on this one and say Norwich, you're staying up for the first time in forever. Okay, 15th in the table, I'm putting Burnley. Burnley are the Brexit football that wind up a lot of people. I mean, I respect the shithousery that they use. As much as sometimes, as a Spurs fan, it does get to you when you see them take points away from you. Sean Dyche does a hell of a job. I can see him keeping them up. As thin as the squad are sometimes, and as old as the squad's getting, he'll plough on still, despite all of it. I think I remember hearing a rumour that they're going to bring in a Brazilian winger. I think it's Marcus Gomez. I mean, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch. Imagine. Okay, next up for 14th place is Newcastle with Stevie Bruce. How's the bacon, you say? What we're going to say for Newcastle, Joe Willock, if he signs, this is where I predict them finishing. I predict them finishing bottom half still, but they're going to be respectably around this sort of an area. He's going to be crucial. 25 mil for that. I think Arsenal are making a mistake letting him go, in all honesty. Steve Bruce is gonna do another masterclass. Okay, so 13th in the league. I'm going to put the team who maybe a couple months back I'd have put bottom with their mass releases. We're putting your boys Crystal Palace in 13th. So, it's an interesting one. They've not brought in too many players, although Vieira has been backed on some good centre-backs. He's brought in Joachim Andersen and I can't pronounce it. I'm going to say Mark Guay. I'm probably butchered that, but 2 new centre-backs, 2 young, hungry centre-backs. And they've also brought in a new attacking midfielder in Mikel Lisi. And I reckon that they're going to be a hungry team under Vieira. I reckon they're going to be creative as well, which is not what you think of when you think of Crystal Palace, mainly because of what Hodgson's done in recent times. But do you know what? I back them. I backed them to do somewhat well. Wilf Zaha's staying. Eze's going to be back, I think, December time, so they're going to have a rough time in the meantime without him, but they're going to become a fairly creative team, and it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird seeing ball-playing football from them. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully not as badly as it did with Frank de Boer. Okay, so I'm going to put Wolves in 12. So I think that their project is in danger. They brought in Trincao, Aït-Nouri on a permanent, Jose Sarr, to name a few players. Do I see them doing much better than 12? Even though Jimenez is back, not really. I don't see it. I'm not the most confident in their manager either. I'm not confident in the Benfica manager. It seems a bit gung-ho. So they could absolutely get caught out. Right, so 11th to about 7th I see being really compact and close together just like last season. I've decided to put Leeds in 11th, which the Irish guy would absolutely have a fit over considering the Bamford tattoo he now has. Junior Firpo, if he plays the way he did when he was at Real Betis, then this could easily go up a little bit. He's a very nice replacement for Alioski. Harrison coming in on a permanent as well is pretty big and not actually that expensive. It's a 12 mil deal, I believe. So not bad. But I just don't see... I don't see the recruitment... They're replacing like-for-like players that are going or making permanent deals. I don't see progress as such, if that makes sense. So I think they're going to stay around the 10th, 11th sort of region. But they'll do well. It'll be a good season. Okay, so in 10th is a team who, in my previous recording of this video, I had down as 6th. This was pre-United game. I do not know what crossed my mind. I'm going crazy. But 10th place is going to be Everton. 10th place is Everton, absolutely. Why I thought a team that's only brought in Damari Gray, Andros Townsend and Begovic were going to suddenly be 6th under Rafa Benitez. Clearly had something wrong in my head. They should be happy with 10th as well. They've normally been bottom half, I think, just about. So, this is a 10th place that they should be happy with. Considering what they're bringing in, considering the money they splashed in recent years, they're relying a lot on DCL and Richarlison to do anything close to this. But I'm backing them for 10th, barely. 9th place, I think Europe will take a toll on this team. And that is going to be in Mark Noble's final season. I'm putting West Ham in 9th. West Ham in 9th, I'm going to say because, Craig Dawson coming in on a permanent, it could be still a good deal for them. He was good from last season, but Europe, they're going to have a congested fixture list. And Areola's come in, who's a great goalkeeper. I very much rate Areola, but I don't think he's going to be enough to sort of keep this ship staying in the European places. 9th is still a good finish for them, though, considering where they were previously. Okay, so in 8th, I'm going to put my own team. I'm going to put Tottenham. Tottenham, this could be a lot worse if Harry Kane does go, and he still could go to Man City. But a signing of Brian Gill, of Galini, who's going to possibly be the replacement for Lloris down the line. It's not going to be an immediate impact. Romero's a good centre-back from what I've heard. I haven't watched the Serie A much, but he could hopefully bring this team forward. But in all honesty, I think Spurs still need another centre-back and maybe a centre-mid. I still think we're lacking in those two areas, and I can't back us much more than 8th. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong and we do better than 8th, but I can't see it. I just can't see it. 7th place, I'm going to put the rivals of my team, Arsenal. I think St Tottenham's day is coming back, sadly. Ben White coming in is good centre-back. Is going to shore up their defence. Them having a partnership of Ben White and Gabriel when he's fit again. Lokonga's going to be an interesting one. They did need like a defensive midfielder, so I think that's a good signing for them. If they bring in a creative midfielder, this could very much be a very solid team to play. Not going to be quite competing for Europe. Conference League exists, but I'm sure they don't want that as much as I don't want it. But yeah, 7th, sadly, I hate to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't want this to be true, but it's looking that way. Okay, going into the top 6 now. Top 6, I can see there being the usual team who just falls short of top 4. I think they're going to slip one more spot down to 6th, and I'm going to put Leicester. Leicester, they've brought in Patson Daka, but they've already got Iheanacho and Vardy, so I don't know. Are they going to try and gradually phase out Vardy along the season? I don't know. It's a good bit of depth, though, if one of them gets injured. Samare is an incredible little tie-in they brought in from Lille. He should do an absolute job in midfield for them. And Bertrand's going to add some experience to the team. But that Fofana injury is really going to hurt them. They're looking at Vestergaard, I believe, as a replacement. I believe they're even sniffing around De Vrij briefly for a replacement. If they brought that in, that would have been a great replacement at centre-back. But to avoid them having to play, I believe, according to Venom, our resident Leicester fan, rather than seeing Daniel Amati playing centre-back, he'd much rather see Vestergaard, even though Vestergaard doesn't fill me with the most confidence. I mean, he's been involved in at least 1-9-0, and he was the reckless one in the Denmark game versus England. Okay, the team that I'm going to put in 5th place are a team that are very, very well reinvested, in my opinion, the money from Jack Grealish. I'm putting Villa. I'm going to put Villa in here in 5th place. It's a bold prediction, but Buendia, Danny Ings and Leon Bailey, if that doesn't fill a creative and goal-scoring void left by Jack Grealish, I don't know what will. That, and they brought in Tuanzebe, who helped them get promotion to the Premier League. I believe that was the season that they went up. I believe he was on loan there. He's going back. He's going to get some experience. He looks like a decent player, and I reckon he'll shore up that defence. I'm not the biggest fan of Tyrone Mings myself, so I hope it's him and Ezra Konsa in the same defence. But we'll see. We'll see how that team comes out, and I reckon they're going to have an incredible season. Okay, you guys sort of knew that this top 4 was going to happen. You just want to know the order. You knew going into this it was going to be a mixture of United, Liverpool, Chelsea and City. What order are they going in? I'm putting in United in 4th, which can probably annoy... Well, anyone was going to be annoyed whichever way around I did this. But I'm going to say United, despite all the money spent on Sancho, I don't see Ollie being tactically with the rest of the big 4 here. With Virgil back, with Tuchel in charge, and just Pep and City generally, I don't see how United hang on here. If they had a different manager, I can see it being the season that they sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in all honesty. I see it happening. I don't know who I see taking over, but I see them doing a much better job. They've got a world-class team, they just need a better manager to use them. Okay, up next is the team that have done the least out of this in the transfer window from the big 4 here, and that is going to be Liverpool. Liverpool, they've lost Wijnaldum, and I don't see how they're filling that void currently. That, and they've only brought in Ibrahima Konate pretty much. The rest of it's either loans returning, which no one's really going to be at that point where they can just step in the team. They've got some good cover at centre-back with Konate, but I don't see anything else. And the top 2 are going to be a mixture between last year's Champions League final. Which way am I going to go on it? I mean, at first I thought it was a no-brainer. You just go City. I thought you just go City for first. No-brainer. But actually, I'm going to go on a limb and put them second. I'm going to put them second. Despite where they've been going in, it feels like they've got a luxury. They've got a wealth. They've got such depth. But there is starting to be some unrest between some of the players. They don't want to be squad players. And in all honesty, what does Jack Grealish add to this team? They already have a lot. They've already got a lot of midfielders that can do a similar role. So I don't see how much Jack Grealish improves this team. And this is a bold stance. Like, I did not think I'd be saying Man City second, but I'm pitching my tent and I'm saying that as much as they're rivals of my team, I'm gonna say Chelsea are gonna win the league. Tuchel has done a masterstroke. Lukaku coming in. The one problem you'd say with Chelsea last season was that Timo Werner wasn't that kind of a goal-scoring striker that you'd want. He did bring some people into play, but my God, he was memeable with his finishing. They have brought in, despite the price, they have brought in an absolute masterpiece of a striker. He's hit a couple seasons, he could be on the all-time top 5 goal scorers in the league, based off the career he's had, and he's not even been in the league the whole time. He even took a vacation for 2 years at Inter Milan and still managed this. Now, I'm sorry. Lukaku is going to change Chelsea. He is going to improve Chelsea exponentially. And they're already insane. He's going to give them that killer edge that they need up top. Man United fans disrespected this man. I'm sorry, I can't be having that. This man ain't no pack mule. His first touch can be suspect sometimes, but his finishing's second to none at the moment. So that's right, Chelsea are going to win the league. As much as I don't want it to happen, they're winning the league. Now, I'm sure, feel free to say in the comments below, you're an idiot, you're wrong, give me valid reasons why. Let's have a discussion about it, because, let's be honest, I'm not going to claim to be a world expert. But, hey, I'll see you guys in the next one.